I had to put my headphones on at least. My microphone. Oh my goodness, I am so late. I just started. See, there you are. Oh, I gotta get that. Sorry. Like, I was like busy doing the homeschool stuff. And then all of a sudden it was like, whoa, it's like right now. There we go. You see a difference? All right. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. It's been one of them days. One of those days. Dawn has made it. Hey, Mayflower Homeschool finally caught you. I was making coffee at 2 and rushed to watch the chat. Tracy's here. Creative Minds. Hi, I'm on for 10 minutes during our break. Yay. Twins at Heart is here and Mel has made it. I've been sitting at the table. Today it's like hot mess schoolwork day. So this, I don't know if I can get farther enough back. That's it. This is one of those IKEA tables, you know, one of those. And we're kind of all set up. This one's working on stuff, doing her thing. So, give you a little show of what's going on. This is my lunch. It's actually chicken salad from a rotisserie chicken. Not my favorite. Almost like my mind is reeling from being late. The funny part was I spent all morning thinking about like what I was going to talk about today. And so it's not like I forgot all about it, but at the same time, I'm like, then I got into like my own thing. So one of the things I've been doing is like just trying to play catch up. I feel like it has to be CC. It has to be doing classical conversations because I never felt this busy before. And I mean, I'm talking like perpetual busy where it's like every other day. It's like something new is due, kind of busy. And so it's got to be essential or classical conversations because that's really what's new. Out of all the years in the past doing stuff, we never felt this busy. And then at the same time, I've been like, one of the things I was thinking about and like why classical conversations is so different, not to make this about classical conversations or anything like this, but the model of it and the fact they do pay their people and it's not all volunteer work. There's just way more things taken down seriously. And I mean, if you're not a rule person, I'm not really a rule person. But then as more and more time goes, it's like, oh, if you want everybody on the same page, you better have some rules. There's just more like, these are the rules and we're going to follow through with you. And this is how we do it. And that's it. And it's just so different because usually I've been part of a group and it's like, I have to work so hard taking care of my other kids and not just what I'm supposed to be doing there that I couldn't do what I was supposed to be doing is how it was. It was like, almost like you can't do anything productive because you have small kids. Where with CC, the directors get all that taken care of and it's kind of like really like, it's nice. So yeah, I was thinking about that today. So I've been just like homeschooling away. I haven't found my favorite way to use my calendar yet. This is the Happy Planner one. I was working on that. I think now I'm at the point I've done this so many different ways it's not funny. So this is like kind of like little tidbits of notes here, and then this is my youngest to my oldest in here. I'll tell you though, it's not how I've always done it. because I tried it one way like this where I don't know what I was using this side for, but this side was like a checklist of such. And like this was all the reading. This was, and I didn't really do that. So I keep kind of messing around. I've done it where I've done it this way across. I've done this thing so many times trying to find what works. In some ways, I wish I just had a piece of paper, but I like kind of what I've done here. And so I put our community day, and then I'm just writing down what they got done and kind of deal. I've been trying to work on, and like I had made inserts. I showed these on Facebook where I built these like little like daily task trackers, but they're just too big. I kind of wish they were only this big, like a bookmark inside, so that I could like track like, hey, did you do extra math? Did you do blah, 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 blah. So I was trying to design that, but my Microsoft Office was acting up because I make these in Excel. So I lay out the page and then I can look. Yeah, I just mess it up in Excel. And then I know you guys have talked to me about these. I have to say, so like today I spent the rest of the day finishing up these. I don't know. So if you're familiar with CC, it's each week. So that's the map of the week. And this is everything you need to know that they're memorizing. And if you want to know who I'll answer that in a minute. If you want to know who this is on CC Connect, you know they can hear you, right? When you burp. Just an idea. Excuse me. She said, excuse me. She didn't mean to be so sorry. Anyways, it's KLECKRONE. If you're on CC Connect, I'm going to type that in the book or in the message thing. So if you come back, you didn't catch that. CC Connect user is KLECKRONE. Okay, so I had to do that. There we go. But I liked it because, well, my idea, I thought I was going to like it. I like it, though. I do like it. I just don't know. I think I have to put it in the back or something. So I took these and I downloaded all the images. So you can print them 4x6. And I just colored cardstock, blah, blah, blah. I can't even speak today. And I found these at the Dollar Tree. So I really, really like that. In the back, they have like multiplication. This one's Lottie's. I actually made two. I made one for Lottie and one for Addie, but not one for Orville. And then using those files, I would just pick the 2 weeks and I would print it as a 4x6 and cut it and put it in my planner. And then I photocopied and minimized the guide so I could kind of have a quick look, which I really like that because I can fold it and put it in. I actually find that I fold this and I put it in like whatever book I'm working on to get ready for CC. But in the meantime, and I think I only did to February. So you can see like there's some yellow in there. Probably not that well. But like I literally open up and there it is. And I don't like them. They're in the way. Yeah, I don't even like them. So I keep pulling them out and throwing them away. I'm like, why? And I guess I was so excited. I just wanted to get in on it or something. 6 times blessed. Hey, I didn't put this down. I probably just gave you like a cover adorable, but I was 6 times blessed. I was looking at your Instagram and you and your daughter, oh my goodness, are twinsies and are so beautiful. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. So that was like, sorry, there was just a side note because I said I missed a bunch of this. So let me see. Mama Butterfly made it. Doris is here. I know, because I'm always like, John, Doris, who's here? Melissa's made it. Perfectly Imperfect said it's been a while. Finally got to chat. I'm so happy you did. Family Farmhouse is here. Creative Mind says, haven't Lindsay. Born to Book has made it. Okay, so are my kids liking CC? I think so. You like CC so far? She's like, the little like head kind of a little shaking, but not really. My 8-year-old loves it. but she's only doing foundations. And she just has a good time. She was well prepared for her presentation. Orville likes it. It's still a little bit new to him. He enjoys the songs and everything. Lottie is doing foundations and essentials. My eye's twitching. I have not got enough potassium. Katie and Bob are doing challenge. So we just had our 3rd week meeting up for challenge. That could be a different story. I don't know what it was. I mean, was it a full moon or something? They were just like off their rockers. I was fixing to take my shoes off and throw them and stuff, but I don't know. But but by the end of the afternoon, they were better. I was like, okay, thank you. You got better, kind of deal. And some of it is they're middle schoolers, and sometimes middle school boys act like middle school boys, kind of deal. But they're very willing to be playful, so I love that. So anyways, I'm liking it. I mean, we definitely feel like we get more done now on a day-to-day basis. Even today, I was kind of in my own little world, and I was thinking, I'm like, man, this is nice. We're actually getting stuff done. I was a little worried that we would still have that same feel with me directing the challenge with my kids in it, with my son especially, but no. He knows he has to get his things done, and they work. And they've definitely been so much better at owning getting their own work done, and not, instead of kind of being like, I mean, we spent a lot of time last year in La La Land, like, oh, yeah, I know I'm supposed to be doing this, but back off in La La Land. And so that's been good. I mean, like right now, Lottie is just doing her copy sentences. I'll show you. So there's her chart. They're in your chart. I'm not doing a very good job. Yes. So there's a chart, and she just copies it, and she used this dry erase marker. And what happened was, so my girlfriend is the essentials tutor, and I actually did all the stuff, and then only to find out she like provided it for me. I was like, what? And I used dry erase. I laminated the pages, but Lottie's been using the dry erase, the page inserts to do it. So, oh, Joyful Journey's here. I know. It's been crazy. All right. So let me go back to Lady Flora made it. Okay, perfect imperfection of a mom. Perfect imperfections of a mom. My battery's running low. Bubba, I need you to get my plug for my laptop before it's too late. I didn't get it charged. I know the frustration. I spent 3 hours looking for the perfect planner printables, and the moment I got the planner binded, I found other printables. Now I don't like 2 sets of printables. Oh no. I know, and oh, thank you. I'm gonna plug it in right there by the blender, all up in the kitchen, tiny house style. And no, I got it. Thank you. So that means it's like plugged in over some chopped onions. If the cutting board's still out, just being a real life here. 6 times blessed has finally made it. Oh, I'm glad you listen. You guys are beautiful. Anyways, Alicia's here. Ashley says, I really enjoy your videos. It's our first year at CC. My kids are 2, 5, and 9, and we are doing essentials and foundations this year. Trying not to feel overwhelmed. Don't feel overwhelmed. Just take it at whatever bite size you can do. The one thing I found with CC is it's meant to be a feast, and you're never meant to ever be sitting there wanting more, because there's more there than you could ever take in, and that's intentional. And if you go with that and just tailor for what it is, and that's what I'll do today. I'll tell you what I've done as we started today off, and what our day looks like with our kids in essentials, foundations, and challenge. So that's what I'll get to. And if I don't, just keep reminding me, and I will. Dawn says, I found an amazing $7 planner at Home Goods and does exactly what I need. And I just jazz it up with beautiful colors and pens. Right. What advice do you have for first year? I don't know. I'm first year. I don't have any advice yet, except sit back and relax, and it's going to be okay. And you're going to get with a lot of mamas that might have once been school teachers. And if you were not that, just back away and associate with yourself to a mama that's just never been a homeschool teacher, and then it should be good. All right, so better late than never. Yeah, that's how I'm rolling. Relax. Your kids will pick up more than you might realize. That's right. I caught you. I'm so glad y'all are here. Okay, so one of the things I started working on was my big, I turned this thing into my big to-do list because I feel like I'm missing my to-dos here lately. Permanently preschool's here. And so I'm just writing them in, crossing them off as I can go. Okay, so what did our what does our homeschool look like? So we did our first time CC yesterday. I am coherent, so that's really good. Lots going on in my life, trying to keep it balanced. So being in a small house, I don't think I'm going to write everything up on the boards. I used this today. So we used the map off of here, I just gave you the link up there for this one. So we have the flip book, and then let me show you. The first thing I asked them to do of my foundations kids here at the house is draw Mesopotamian. This actually looks amazing. You can't really see it because of the colors, but she did a great job. She freehand drew, and then she went ahead and she labeled the Euphrates, the Mesopotamians. Let me see yours, please. No. Lottie's. So then this is Lottie's. Oh, I gotta open it. All right. So here's Lottie's. So Lottie's 10. And this was your freehand, right? She traced and she did some coloring and some labeling. So most every day I'm going to ask them to draw the map for a couple different reasons. A lot of it has to do with it's good for memorizing the locations, but it's also good for hand-eye coordination, observation kind of deal. I like the Charlotte Mason style of let's go out in nature and observe. And Florida's beautiful, but seriously, it's just not in our nature to go do that because then we are off doing stuff and we're observing in our own ways and never with a one. The other thing I'm asking, and I really liked, was the timeline. And of course, we got up this morning and we found on YouTube amazing YouTubers that have gone and made timeline, or not just timeline, but videos that go with all the memorization. And so with that, we've listened to that a couple of times today. I mean, we did that for probably longer than we even needed to. And then I pulled out the timeline cards and I asked her to pick one and to draw a picture from the timeline cards and then write a couple sentences about it in summary. Not, nothing extravagant, but just some kind of quiet time parts. And then now she's doing her charts for essentials. What was nice was before coming into essentials yesterday, she had spent about 2 weeks doing the charts. So she was more prepared than some of the other kids. And let's see what else. Yeah, I'm ready to start doing the sentence diagramming, probably because we do a lot of sentence diagramming in Challenge A. And I don't know if that's just because it's me and I never sentence diagrams before, but we do a lot of sentence diagramming. So Joyful Journey, you asked the question, how are you looking, how am I liking Latin so far? Latin is one of our favorites. So doing Challenge A, we're actually learning Latin and we love it. but it's Katie and me. Katie and I love it. And we challenge each other to decipher things. And then I'm not spending a lot of time. I wish I could spend the time to really drill the vocabulary, but I'm pulling the concepts and then I'm teaching from the concepts, and we love it. I have to say, Latin has got to be one of our favorite subjects. I never thought that would happen. And I never thought I could learn Latin without like a video course, or, like the fact that I'm learning a language without a video course is kind of amazing to me. Now, granted, I don't think I'm going to be learning to speak Latin, but I'll know how to read Latin and the whole 9 yards. My kids had a hard time with map drawing a couple of years ago. She didn't like it at all. Do you have any advice to make it more enjoyable? No, I mean, here's the other. Here's Orville, who's 5, and he has like poor hand strength. Was this his map or his timeline? This is all the Egyptian timelines that Orville did. Can you see it? It doesn't even matter. Which one? Wait. This, we'll put that right there. That was his. So let's see. How did I miss my spot? I'm so sorry. Okay, so do I have an advice to make maps enjoyable? Draw it on chalkboard. I think one of the ways that would make them more, because some of the ways it's the practicing of maps, it's the practicing of observing versus having, and I'm the first one guilty of this. I want everything they do documented, right? And we don't need to be documenting practices. When they learn an instrument, just because I got stuck watching a boudoir video, the IEW video, but he talks about practicing and the resuscitation of practice to the point you don't think about it anymore. But if you think about it, people who practice, like, on a violin or whatever, they don't go for an audience to do it. They don't document it. They go and they get it done. And if you think about that same way, have them draw it in the dirt, have them draw it on a chalkboard, have them draw it in a non-permanent way. So there's not this expectation of perfection, because I think some of the parts that destroy their ability to enjoy it is the feeling that they have to provide a perfect production. And if it's just about being joyful and getting it done, that's all it is. It's the mind exercise kind of deal. All right. How about a light table? You could make a homemade one. I actually have a light table, but it would be just another thing in this tiny house. So I don't have it out, but I have one in storage. The better late than never was for me, not you. Love the idea of CC, but just too far for us. I was teasing you because I was right there with you. Do I have kids with ADHD homeschooling tips, please? Ask your sister. Look, and see, like, she just got done. She was working on there, and now it's all erased. She erased it all. It's all gone. She's doing tally marks how many times she does that chart. It's not about having copies of that chart done. So she erased it. She's good. ADHD comments. Okay, we're in a tiny house, and one of the biggest blessings in order for us to be able to focus is, what are you doing? When you're YouTubing live with a bunch of kids, what are you doing? You don't know? Is music has been a big lifesaver for us, where they're plugging in and they're listening to music, and they're all playing it off my Amazon Prime. And that has helped them keep themselves kind of busy, or not busy, but it helps keep them focused so they're not catching on to everything else going by. What else is help for ADHD? What's helping your focus and helping you with distraction? Earmuffs. The other part too is sometimes too much silence is hard to deal with, so you don't want that. Bubba, when he has a hard time and he can't focus, he went out and he ran outside and came back in and got some energy off and the whole 9 yards. So that's helped. A lot of it, I think, has to do with your expectations with them, and thinking that they're going to sit down. And there could be ways like you're like, this is how I do things, and this is how you should learn, and you kind of have to give them that space to do it themselves. If that helps, that probably doesn't even help. Oh, Joyful Journey says, whoop, whoop, we can do hard things for sure. Depending on age, have them cut and trace and cut out and decorate and glue on another paper. Well, when we do that, I like that a lot too, is getting the construction paper out and letting them cut stuff and just glue. There's so much learning to that. Lady Flora, do you use Song School Latin? I use Henley Latin. Will you go get me my Latin books, please, and not unplug my computer right there? Will you go get the 2 Latin books out of the big black bag that I took to community? Yeah. Yep, that's in the spiral bound. So I'll show you what I'm using. In Essentials, are the math concepts explained, or are you expected to know it coming in and just practice on speed? The concepts aren't, it's out and out memorizing. The Essentials is memorizing. But like, Cece's big about celebrating what you brought to the table, not what you didn't bring to the table. So yeah, as long as the Wi-Fi's done. Hey, wait. Will you put this stuff up and get a Ziploc bag for your note cards? Yeah. So I have Henley. I mean, very dry. It comes off very dry. Like, this is what it looks like. No. Can we say chaos? Just absolute chaos. So it's really kind of blah, blah, blah. I can't speak. It comes off kind of dry. I've been tabbing it. I know that Cece's like, hey, this is how you tab it. But I'm going to tell you my biggest things that help me the most, like the absolute most, is I highlight in green whenever I find a set of vocabs in these boxes right here. So this part explains the box, but I write down, like as a director, I essentially go page by page and I write down the vocab and I write down whatever's in the box, the vocab in the box. And anytime they show diagramming, I write down the diagramming. And that right there has given me the most. And then I'll have to do a video on like how I'm doing Latin just from a Henley book. I finally was like, oh, I probably should get an answer key, but I haven't felt really the need to get an answer key. But I did finally order one because I was like, oh, I probably should have one. I might be too confidently cocky and be making mistakes and not know it. But I don't think I have. I think we do it quite well, don't you? She's like, yeah, we do it well. Do you use Draw the World book for map drawing? I totally would if I owned it, but at $20 a pop, and I'm going to have a new book every 2 weeks. Mama has to draw the line on the money right there. Cut out a country with sandpaper and have them. Oh, that's cool. Listen, I like that idea. You want to mail them to me? Because I don't have time to do that, but that would be really cool. I'm glad y'all didn't miss me. I almost missed y'all. I can't believe it. Map ideas for littles. Draw with dry erase on sliding glass doors or windows. Once we used Cook's spaghetti to trace the outlines of the maps on laminated maps. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's a fun way to do it. We could even do it with Play-Doh too. Because I did, Not yet. You can't be on the computer. I have somewhere, like, I have, like, I don't know. Oh, put that one away, too. I printed out a map of, like, week 1, 2. Sorry, there's, like, things flying. I told you, we're in the middle of school. Like, I totally forgot. For sport practice, I record the time spent and keep track of the total annually. Oh, cool. All right, what do you need to work on? Did you do your Latin? Okay, and start a Latin dictionary. Because everybody in class did not know the Latin besides your sister. You need to have a list of all your Latin words. Anyways, he didn't like that. All right. Okay. Love the map tracing idea. Ashley, they're only playing math games and essentials, so they are only using what they are comfortable with. So first year, they are almost doing addition and subtraction. That's right. String and glue. Yep. All right. Oh, yeah. My daughter's like backpacks. So one of the ways we've been, you got to wait. How young do you start the maps? I have a 5, 4, 2, and 15. Okay, Doris, at that point with the maps, are you doing CC? Because your 5 and 4-year-old would be in it. So each week there's a new map that they're learning where the locations are. In your case, I would legit just laminate and get Play-Doh and see if they can build it with Play-Doh. And that's it. That is it. I wouldn't color anything because it would be so abstract for them. So that's all I would do. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. My older 2 are just doing CC or the Challenge A. And then and their Saxon math. I did go and look at teaching textbooks, but in the end I didn't like the way it changed our day. So I didn't do that. But I like the fact that they have a trial. And then let's see. Lottie, well, and I want them to be doing spelling, but as much as I keep assigning it, we're so busy we're not getting it done at all. What's Lottie doing? She's doing essentials and foundations, and that's it. And Saxon and spelling. I will say I did easy grammar. I pulled easy grammar 3rd grade for Addie. I wish I would have really put forth effort to look at that before. And I have to say, anything that offers a grade level, it really messes me up. I went ahead and I bought the workbook. Addie, will you go get me your easy grammar, the teacher book in your book? Okay. And I'm going to do a video review. I want to wait a little bit more time and see how that goes and do a video review. I enjoy it because it's easy to implement and stuff. And there's different ones. Oh, I'll see you later, Compass. I think there's pages later on I'm going to rip out and put them into a page protector for her. Kind of deal. Ashley says they mentioned exponents at the parents' meeting and my son is 9. Listen, I did exponents yesterday with my challenge kids and some of them were like, what's that? But I know that they do memorize like the square root, the square of 2 is 4, like the square numbers. And like that's one of their memorization. So if that's it, it's only going to be like 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, 144. There's your primes up to, or your squares up to 12. I think it's only that. I could be wrong. So if you're going to do easy grammar, unless you're totally frugal and you're not going to like ADHD flake out on it, totally get the workbook And I mean, I know I have all these pages in my parent book, but these are even perforated, and they just make it so much easier to open this up and get it done. I haven't looked it up, and I was going to look back to see if they have like a lesson guide on here, but I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. I don't care. Some days we do 1 page, some days we do 2 pages. I started tabbing out, like there's the preposition list. Eventually this is going to go into a notebook. But I like it because I feel like it's really giving us a foundation to prepare for essentials. And now I'm like, oh, this will prepare her for essentials next year. But yeah, I like it. We were doing AC kindergarten, but I have had a hard time getting it out. It's just balancing everything. And it might be the fact that I'm not going to do start kindergarten until November after my exam. Take my exam and then really get into kindergarten. Joyful Journey says, yes, 2nd or 3rd year through essentials, they start using exponents as they understand them. I was nervous because my son wasn't quick with math, but it's been a good experience. I got the easy grammar from the Christian book distributor. Do you know where my book is? Yeah. You get my book? So if you didn't want to spend, I don't know, 10, 12 bucks on this, you could photocopy the pages out of the parent book. But I've had the parent book. I've even PDF'd the parent book, and it's just too much work. So this is the parent book. It's huge. But it's been so good. But I'll show you. They even have like a pretest. But this is what it is. This side has the answers. That side is the page. And is it I'm going to see if it's perforated. And you can reproduce this, you know, in your family. But yeah, it's not even perforated. So I've done that where I've like sat there and photocopied each page, and I tried to do it for the week. And for me, it was just too easy to be inconsistent with it. And I really need to tab it because like they have sections like the next are nouns. I'll have to show you let me see. Let me see. Oh, those are the tests. There's like tests in there and stuff. And it tells you like what lines up with what. Let me find the page. Okay, let me find it. So I'm so slow. All right. Table of contents. And then it tells you the list, and it gives you like, first you do prepositions, and you learn about compound verbs, subject verbs, but it's all part of the preposition for the first like 80 pages. And then it's verbs, and that's for the next like 100 pages of verbs. And then you go into like 60 pages of nouns, you go into 45 pages of adjectives, then you do conjunctions, interjunctions, adverbs, types of sentences, pronouns, capitalization, pronunciation, friendly note and letter, writing sentences, and then that's about it. Like those are the main contents. If you're like me, get both books. Because honestly, there's times I don't even get this off the shelf. I don't want to deal with it. It's too heavy. And for the most part, I'll tell you, let's see, we're in the first 11 pages. We have not needed the teacher's manual yet. But I'm sure there's going to be a point that we will need it. But like, right, you could start with just this. And I don't know, I'd get both just because I don't want to photocopy out of that book. They're not going to use one side of the book versus the other. If that makes sense, like, you know, you're going to have to photocopy this. And it's just, if it was spiral bound, it would be different. If you went and bought this and cut it and spiral bound it, it would be fine. And the thing about it too, even with the PDF, because you could just buy the PDF, but then you have to print the whole thing out if you wanted to. you can't just say, oh, print all the right side pages, because what'll happen is it'll go into instructions. Let me find one real quick. And then everything will flip. Maybe. Everything will flip over, and then it changes. Yeah. So like these are, like these are like basic template ones. So that kind of drove me nuts. And I was just like, well, how am I going to easily print that out? So anyways, there it is. But we have loved this. I broke each way grammar book down into sections and bound them into workbooks. I use the parent book and they check all of their work. Cool. Okay, I'm thinking you said easy. So you broke them into the sections of the parent book, right? And bound them to workbooks. I like that. I like it. Okay, so yeah, easy grammar. I'm sad I procrastinated and I kicked this one around for 9 years, 7 years, and it's helping. I've contemplated putting Lottie in it, but I feel like she's going to get so much doing essentials. If we find that essentials gives way to some free time, we might do it. But I think she has enough going on. I'm not too worried about it. Your crew gets overwhelmed by the huge book. Even this one? Or are you making them write it? Are you having them write it out kind of deal? So yeah, we do love this. We absolutely do. Because you could actually write it on a separate piece of paper. I'm not that mom. I mean, I thought I was, but as time goes by, I'm just kind of all over the place. But yeah, so Addie's having a hard time, like with her ADHD, she's having a hard time not jumping around when she reads. So I put her in teaching textbooks. We did the 15 lessons. She got it done within 3 weeks. So I went ahead and ordered, okay, you broke apart the parent book. Okay, that's awesome. And then they're writing it on paper. I think you told me yes to that. Have my own little side conversation. Forgive me. Anyway, so yeah, we just kind of a hot mess. Keeping going. I feel like we're finally getting into a rhythm, like waking up and stuff like that. I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to give y'all a heads up. October will not have a lot of videos from me. October might have 4 videos, maybe that. Make them fold back the answer page, then they can check it. Okay, so very good, very good. That's awesome. Not doing, yeah. I like the little workbook. It definitely helps me out, but that's a cool way to do it. I never thought to do it like that. And it's been nice because we sit down and do them together. And I have to say, like, I've never been a big grammar knowledgeable person. And I feel like I want you to have a reference sheet in class. You could type them. Like, what was I going to tell y'all? I don't remember. Oh, doing Latin. I swear. Oh, and when I had mine bound, I had this laminated, like hardcore laminated. And I already think it's starting to, because we're in it so much. I had this laminated. Well, the first thing I did was I had them cut it down the middle, and then each one cut. So it was cut 3 times. And then I had the covers laminated to put it in. It does come in grade 2, I think. Here it is. Easy grammar teaching comes in grade 2. Daily grams start at grade 3, which I don't know what those are. So Easy Grammar 2 goes from 2nd through 6th grade, and then Easy Grammar Plus is non-grade level, ideal for 7th grade through adult. I might have to, maybe you never know, I might be doing Easy Grammar Plus kind of deal with them. Because I will say, for me, this Latin is like 90% grammar and 10% Latin is what we found. So I'm doing a ton of Latin through that. Oh, oh. So what do you guys think? How many of y'all are doing CC? How many have you are you doing CC? So answer me this. This is my poll. Are you doing CC or are you contemplating CC? And if you are doing it, what are you doing? Foundations, essentials, or are you doing challenge? And then what role are you taking in the community? I'm not doing CC. Yeah, Pepper and Pine. I don't know if you would do CC because it's a Christ-based program. So definitely that would go against for you. But I like the methods of it. That's one thing I have to say that I've been so good, that I've really enjoyed about the classical education experience. But I really like that. I like that method. That method, as I'm being forced to be part of it because I am tutoring, I find it to be a really easy fit. All right, Mayflower says, I thought about CC last year, but the price was just not doable. I had thought about it again this year, but unsure about committing to it. Okay, here's what I've got to tell you. And how old are your kids, Mayflower? All right, Donna's not doing it. Parts of CC at home, not the full program. Very good. I one of the things I do like too about the program is just getting that help, getting a little assistance. Price is too much for us so far. 7 years old. Don't worry about it. Just wait. Because here's my thing. As I'm directing Challenge A, and I have 2 students that have done one off and on foundations and one or foundations and essentials. One who's never done it, and then my 2 kids, and we haven't done it. I feel like reading was so prominent that I noticed the difference of my kids being well read versus the ones that are not well read. Oh, I didn't realize that. Well, okay, that makes sense. Sorry, I had a Hannah moment. And I lost my moment. Oh, so I felt like catching. Okay, so for challenge, we do math. The levels in which classical conversations would expect would be 8-7. I have 1 in 7-6. I have 1 in 6-5. We go in there, we present problems. It doesn't matter really how deep or whatever the problem is. We do things. And sometimes it's just showing how we can change the problem. So we're not really solving or teaching math in there. And then we have, we do that, which doesn't make a difference if you're in challenge or not. We do research. If you've done IEW, you're well prepped. If you haven't, it doesn't take you long to catch up. One thing I've noticed is my kids that were in CC they present so much better. Like my kids present well. They've been in 4-H. They've been presenting the whole time. They have confidence and poise, but understanding that very quick informational presentation, that's a very IEW way, is definitely very much done really well with good catches by the kids that were in CC. The rest of them, you won't know the difference at the end of the year. They'll get it. They're getting it. They're getting there quick. Latin, my kids who were in foundations that memorize this stuff are having we're all in the same place. It hasn't really made a difference. Reasoning, research, drawing maps. The ones that have drawn maps are doing fantastic. The one that loves to draw is doing fantastic. The ones who don't like to draw, they're having a hard time. But wouldn't that be natural? The writing really has not been a problem at all. And the reasoning and rhetoric, no difference. So I was a little bit like, oh, if only my kids had been in this program from the beginning. You know, the grammar part gets us, the Latin, not a big deal. The grammar part gets us a little bit. We don't know. But I also haven't taught grammar with my kids. So, I mean, if I would have done easy grammar, it would have been better. And I like the sentence diagramming. I didn't even know I would like sentence diagramming. I love sentence diagramming. Kind of deal. So I think if you had a chance to, now the difference too is like to do CC, just to do foundations, I think is $350-ish right there per kid. To do essentials is an additional $350-ish. So say about $700 for your 4th through 6th grade. When you do challenge, it is $1,400. $1,400. Yeah. So it's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, especially when you're not used to spending money like that. But for me, I kind of ran into, at the end, it was about the name I spent on BJU. So if you're buying a whole box curriculum outside of like My Father's World, because that one's pretty good for prices, you definitely, you know, you'll feel kind of some of it. Ooh, that's hurt my ear. You'll feel some of it. Or you won't feel some, it'll feel familiar on about the price. But the cool part is then there's places in there that you could actually go and do the work. Do the work and everything like that, that will help you pay for your kids. So the only way that I can actually finance this round is really by doing, that one has hurt my ear, is by teaching challenge. Teaching challenge makes it more makes it so that I can do this at all. Planning to participate fully as needed. I'm new and learning. There you go. I like your attitude. I love it. Yes, I like her attitude too. So Doris says, I'm not doing CC, but I have been looking into it. I'm just starting and still not sure. I'm going to handle it, how I'm going to handle it all with all the kids. Here's the thing. That baby's 5 years old. Do not stress. Don't stress. Get a decent, easy kindergarten program and just do that. The only thing, okay, so Orville is 5. He's going to CC. He's doing foundations. He's learning the songs. Long term, the only thing that's going to carry on with him is he's going to speak better because of the songs. Nothing's going to be committed there. I mean, unless we do it over and over again, then he'll have it. But outside of that, he's going to speak better. So, I mean, definitely, I could see easily waiting to like 8 or 9 to start the program. But the camaraderie is amazing. Tracy says, for this year, we're doing Connection Academies, but it's a public school at home, but I'm adding Bible on top of it. Tell me how it goes on if it wears you down doing that type of curriculum, because I've heard a lot of things on that. Lady Flora says, I'm doing CC Foundations. Love it. I love the style of classical education. Sometimes it seems expensive, but sometimes curriculum is super expensive, so I don't really know how to compare. Right. And the other cool part is a lot of CC is so user over and over. And the big part, too, is I think, let me think, it's like $16 a week if you broke it down by price. And when you see what those other mamas are toting in and the time they take to be prepared, you appreciate that $16. And the fact that like that $16 also covers the project they're working on and all these other things that are going on. And it's really, it is affordable when you look at it like that. If you feel like you're just dropping money and you don't know why. And I think there's such a huge commitment difference between the paid homeschool group and a volunteer force, because as much as I love the idea that we're all going to socially come together and take on each other's responsibility, I've been in too many groups, it doesn't happen. And I've put out so much and I'm never reaping the benefits I put out. So on the financial standpoint, what I'm paying for, I'm happily knowing I'm getting it. And my efforts are being paid back, if that makes sense. The efforts I'm putting in are being paid legit with money, but that money I'm using to help subsidize my payments. So I know I'm being kind of paid for my effort, and that just changes my attitude a lot. And it changes my attitude with dealing with things. You're Awesome says, hi ladies, our third year in CC community did 2 years of foundations and essentials. This year we're doing foundations. Love the IEW and essentials though. Love, love, love all the memory work facts. Yes. Also, CC seems a little confusing as to what they offer, what the classes are. So foundations is from K4 to 6th grade. It's the morning session, and it works on building pegs. It works on building blocks of little memory. They don't need to understand why. They don't need to know why it goes together. They just need to know it. And they just find fun ways to teach them to memorize. Don't you have stuff to do? Aren't you going to go type stuff up?
You want me to do all of them today?
No, just work on at least the ones we're working on that are new that you're working on for this coming week. Put all the new ones in. And then when you have time, you can work backwards and get the other ones in. Okay?
I already got a 20.
Hey, you know what? Hey, your shirt makes a great eraser. Your sweater makes a good eraser. Can you see it, Katie? The back of his shirt. He erased the chalkboard. You erased it. Okay, but can I finish this video? Anyway, sorry. You know, I got all these kids. Anyhow, so they have the foundations and they're putting these pegs, and these pegs are in these different categories. Some of them's Latin, some of them's history, timeline, map locations, and it's training the brain to memorize. And then at 4th through 6th grade, there's an afternoon session that in the afternoon they teach the fundamentals of grammar. And when I finally got to look at one of those books, I was amazed at the simplicity that they broke grammar down. And I am just like, this is how I need to learn grammar. This, you know, this is so basic. This is nothing confusing, nothing creatively spoken. It's words, you know, sentences follow certain patterns, and there's pieces to this puzzle, and they go, if you have this piece, you have another. So even I am learning so much because, and just to go into a little bit of my whatever, we're doing Latin, and all of a sudden now we have predicate nouns, and I'm like, wait a minute. Why is it called now a predicate noun and not a direct object? You know, why now all of a sudden it's predicate noun? I thought the predicate was the verb. Well, come to be clarified to me is the predicate is everything after the subject. So you have the subject and then the predicate. And well, why is it called predicate noun where before it was a do and an io, or a direct object and an indirect object would come after, but now it's a predicate noun. And the reason behind it is there's different types of verbs. And so I'm going back and relearning what's the different types of verbs. But when you have a linking verb, now we call everything behind it a predicate noun. And sometimes that includes prepositions. And learning those things for like the first time ever. And so what's really cool is with essentials, they're taking it all down and doing that. And then they're also getting into IEW. So they're learning how to keyword outline, how to put things in their own words, and dressing words up. And so that's just amazing. And I love it. I love it. So that's what's happening there. And so you add a math, 4th through 6th grade, and you got a full curriculum. Before 4th grade, you add like your phonics program. You might want to add something like easy grammar. You add your math, and you got a full program. You know, hey, can you not do that here and not be loud? And then like for 6th, 7th grade and up, you can go into the challenge program. And when you go into the challenge program, everything's there. You just add your math. So the first time I looked at it, I wasn't excited because I was just like, I don't want somebody picking out what my kid's doing. And then coming into this year, I'm like, I don't even care what it is. Whatever it is, just tell us what we're doing. I don't care. And kind of that let go of things, I don't know, has made it so much more enjoyable. So you only go one day a week. So when you're in Foundations and Essentials, you go for the first day of your week is that day at community, and you get introduced to all the concepts. And then you go home and for Foundations, you just work on memorizing that. You kind of like replay and enjoy and reenact your class. And what's cool is at the end of the year, they have memory masters. So the memory masters lets you prove what you memorized and if you memorized the whole year or not. So that's a nice way to do the accountability. For Essentials, that's the afternoon class. At the end, the following week, you present what you worked on. And most of that, I think, is just writing. And they have this stuff for you to do during the week. All right. Let's see. I'm so excited and thankful to have a community of great women. I've never had this in my any area of my life, and it just feels so grateful for these sisters. Ashley said, she said, don't you have to buy your own curriculum for home? Yes and no. So I don't have the Foundations book, but the Foundations book is, let me see if I can. It looks just like this. You know, it looks kind of like that for a Foundations book. And that Foundations book is good for 3 years every year after that, unless they put a new edition in. You can get flashcards and you buy those separately if it helps. And they got some little things that help you, but that's all you're required to have for Foundations. That's it. Essentials. This is the teacher's book. I have the student book, and then I need the English book. Because in the whole thing of it, I'm the teacher. I'm the teacher. I have a tutor that helps us. For challenge, yeah, we had a whole slew of books we had to buy, and some I had to buy duplicate, and some I have my kids sharing. All right. I'm way too much of an introvert to be involved in CC, I think. No, you're not. Listen, we got wallflower introverts hiding out, and what ends up, it's such a big crowd. There's the people that love introverts or other introverts. They find each other and they're good. Nobody's making them, and if you have a community that's not introvert friendly, then you find a different community, and they're always looking for people to start one. Oh, you guys are so funny. So yeah, those are kind of the context of doing CC. I feel like it helps us on the accountability. We're like 4 weeks into homeschooling and I haven't thought about quitting yet. That's kind of amazing. Really amazing. It definitely, we stay busy getting all this done. So yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about. Next week, I'm going to try and do the, sometimes just you make people mad. You can't help it. Sometimes it's nothing you do and you make people mad. All right, I'm going to talk to y'all later. I am still super tired, but I know like by next week, I assume, or by week 5, I'm going to finally be the point like I'm all like rebalanced back up. All right, thank you guys so much for coming to visit me today and just hanging out. I'm really sorry I'm late. Yeah, I feel like we're doing strong for 4 weeks. We'll see what we sound like at Christmas. And you know what's kind of funny is I usually never let myself have a Christmas break or a December break. And we'll usually work up right to the holiday and then we get done. And because of that, we never take it off and we always work through and we never really feel rested when we start back up. Or I feel like we kind of quit and I got to figure out how to get the train going again and get our motivation going. And this year I'm really looking forward to, I'm like, yeah, we don't have to do much over December. We can take December off. Well, what a novel idea. I thought, Lady Flora says, I thought I wanted more control with homeschooling, but with CC, I can just relax and be free and supplement and go deeper. Right? Isn't that fun? Thanks for everything. I'm so thankful for that I made it. I'm glad you made it too. And I'm hopeful, and I want to know how your decisions go as you go in the future. But at the same time, you don't have to be in a hurry. And, for logistics sakes and community sakes, I think CC's a really good fit at kindergarten. I don't think it's a necessity. But I think on the community part, it is. It fits that really well. And there's so many good things that happen there. But if you can't do it, if you have any one time to do it, I would do it for challenge. I would save your money up for challenge and do challenge. I think challenge is phenomenal. And I'm so blessed. I'm blessed to get to be in there. I'm so blessed to be part of the conversations. I really want my husband to come and visit for a day, but at the same time, I think he's gonna, he would have a hard time keeping his mouth shut. Two, I think he would leave jealous of what I get to do that day a week. He'll be like, oh man, kind of deal. So anyways, let me pray over y'all and let me get off this computer so I can eventually clean my crazy sink, finish my chicken salad. But I did anyways, I'm going to get talking about something else and I got to go. All right. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the blessings you give us for this time to come together. Thank you for the opportunities that we get to have and participate in because of people just doing your work. Dear Lord, sometimes you give us a task that seems like such a small little thing, and we work diligently at it, dear Lord, just as we do because that's what you've called us to do. And sometimes those little things become a snowball effect. They just have a snowball effect, and they end up providing so much more than we ever thought that they would be, Lord. Just I want to give thank you for those that you've sent in that direction for us and for the benefit of us, be it the curriculum writers, be it the publishers, be it the curriculum stores that you've provided for us for homeschooling, Lord. Thank you for all the opportunities that have been presented to us to make this task sometimes overwhelming from the choices, but yet the freedom to have a choice. Dear Lord, just give encouragement to those that need it, Lord. Give fellowship for those that are starving, dear Lord, and just put a lamp unto our feet for each step that we do with our children. In your son's precious name I pray. Amen. All right, I'll talk to you all later.